Zero to seven figures. .com 0 to 7 figures. .com 0 to 7 figures. .com.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of 0 to 7 Figures, your maximum mastermind, small business mastermind. I'm Brian Post.
And I'm Abraham Ruiz. How's everybody doing? You good, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm out here in Redding, California, just rocking and rolling.
All right.
Doing what I do.
Brian, is that the actual background now, or is that still synthetic?
This is my portable background, bro. I just bring this with me wherever I go.
Getting jealous.
Yeah, man. I just travel with my island nowadays.
I got my office done, brother. I finally got my office done.
I like it.
My home office, should I say. I had somebody come in and help me put it together a little bit, and now I can function just as well at the office as I do at home.
I like it.
Fantastic.
I like it.
But anyway, man, it's been a minute since we've gotten together and talked. We've both been busy. Brian's been running up and down all over globetrotting, getting stuff done, and I've been slinging shingles, man. And so it's we apologize for the slowdown, but we're back at it, guys, and we're here to help you. And we're gonna try to give you as much wisdom as we got. I ain't got much, but I'll give you what I got.
That's right. I'll toss one or two little pearls. But you know what happened is that we'll just go ahead and dive in.
Sure.
Is the whole COVID thing hit. So we were going again, and then it kind of eased up, and then the second round hit again. And that was very interesting. It's very interesting to watch what small business owners did, pre-COVID, and then what they turned around, what I observed many of them to do, even with the same resurgent of COVID, they really didn't do anything different. It's so interesting. I keep seeing this time and time again, and I know people are just not stopping. They're not stopping to think about their business, and they're not stopping and spending the time, taking a step back to work on their business. They get so busy working in their business.
Correct.
And I see that as a big challenge.
And I think it's funny because the one of the most generic and one of the most simple sayings that have been circling around for years is the difference between surviving and thriving, man. And I don't want to go back and kick a dead horse, but it's the truth of it. It's like there are these people that are literally all they're doing is surviving. They're not evolving. They're not actually taking themselves to the next level during a time like this. They're actually just trying to survive it and hopefully get back to business as usual. Most of the time, there's something like this comes to an end or closes, or it never really will close, but when it comes closer to a resolution, they're I don't know. You know what I'm talking about, Brian?
Yeah,
100%. Because I have several friends that they keep talking to me about this stuff, and they keep saying, "Hey, I'm changing. I'm doing this, and then the minute it eases up and looks like business is getting back to normal, they stop."
Yeah.
And then they think it's going to come back to normal. There's no new normal. There's no normal. I'm sorry. There's a new normal, and you have to evolve into that normal, or else you're going to get left behind. And that's what I've been doing. Kind of what we were going to talk about today was taking a step back, not necessarily taking a step back from business, but you're talking about not working in your business. What I'm trying to do, I've stepped away from some marketing that I've been doing, and I've been just trying to reprioritize everywhere from my personal life all the way up to my business life to make sure that everything's being handled properly, because sometimes things get a little out of control, and you want to make sure you're taking a good inventory of your life, business-wise and personal.
No, that's important, man. A lot of times we really don't take the time to do that. And we're when you're on the grind and when you're hungry and you want to try to make something happen, you can get caught up in the day-to-day kind of hamster wheel of what you do and forget that slowing down and taking a step back. Slowing down doesn't mean you get less done. And I say this in my work all the time. Slowing down doesn't mean you get less done. It means you are more clear in the things that you do. Therefore, you oftentimes get more done. You're actually more effective in the doing it. But we just don't tend to take enough time to reflect.
Yeah, your productivity doesn't slow down. That's probably the misconception of what we're trying to say here. It's not we're telling you to stop, pull back, not do anything. The reality is, like right now, for instance, in my business, nothing's slowed down for me. But I've slowed down in regards to trying to push marketing, trying to pull in more. And the reality is, even when I was doing that, my numbers didn't really adjust much because I did a lot of groundwork beforehand. And so my numbers have stabilized pretty good to where I don't have to worry about that. But what I've done recently is I've stepped back, I've slowed down, and I'm enjoying it. Honestly, I'm getting to spend more time with the kids. Kids, that's a big part of it, man. That's something we got to address. My daughter's here full time. Actually, her and her friend are right next on the other side of this wall doing school right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so then I have my 3-year-old running around tearing crap apart. And there's things that I had to come back and say, okay, this is my new normal. So they're going to be here all the time. I got to figure out how do I function inside that and do it effectively. And that's where I'm at.
Yeah, and that's a big deal. And a lot of small business owners, probably just try to push on through and keep doing the same thing they've been doing. And the reality is having your kids home all day and not going to school is a big adjustment. It's an external stressor that shows up that you're not aware of until you are. Until you're yelling at your kids and being short with your customers and shit's falling through the cracks. So, it's good that you slowed down and you reevaluated that. I have a lot of families I serve have had to be doing that same thing.
Well, and the reality is most of the people that I'm dealing with are dealing with the same thing anyways.
Yeah.
They get it. They're dealing with
the same boat.
Dealing with the kids being at home. This is not just an adjustment for me. And we can't live life so singular. We can't be like, this is my life. Nobody else is dealing with what I'm dealing with. It's not true. I can look out this window and see about 20 houses and every single one of them is doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Parents come out every 15 minutes for a smoke break. They didn't used to smoke.
Yeah. Isn't that the truth? 3
packs a day, bro.
Yeah. Out smoking like a freight train.
That's it. But it is hard to do that, especially with somebody that is as I will say assertive, not aggressive, as myself and yourself. That to stop and just, I don't want to say smell the roses because that's not what we're doing, but we kind of are. We're taking an inventory of our life and seeing, hey, what can I drop off? What do I need to take? And what's being effective? What's actually productive in my life and what's not? Because if we keep just moving this way, who knows? We need to know exactly where we're going. And if we have an objective, we got to make sure we're cutting off everything that's holding us back and slowing down the train.
No, that's a great point. And I think that, one of the things you were talking about in relationship was your marketing, cutting back some marketing stuff you were out there doing. And then when you finally cut that off, you didn't really notice any change in your business, which is a change in your business.
Right.
And a lot of times we get busy working in the business and we don't take time to measure if our marketing things are being effective. We don't take time to follow up and see if, that email sequence that we've had going for the last 6 months or 12 months is converting or isn't converting the way it used to. And so when you slow down and you reflect on kind of where your life is and where you want to spend more time and do this and what's important to you, even your money, it's like your money goal. If maybe your money goal changes, maybe you don't want to make $100 million. Maybe you just only want to make $2 million. Well, that's a big shift in your business when you make that come to that clarity and come to that awareness.
Let me ask you a question. So being in the roofing game, it is kind of a dog eat dog, especially in Texas. There's so many of us out here. But I've noticed that one of the things that I wasn't doing previous to COVID-19 in the pandemic, we'll call it that, is internet marketing. That wasn't something I'm a old school grassroots. I've mentioned this before, shake hands, kiss babies. That's what I do. I'm more like a politician style. So what I've noticed is everybody started doing it. And before, when I would do internet marketing, it was very effective. Now I do internet marketing, and either you got to go big, you got to hire somebody on the outside, and it just comes to a point where you realize that everything becoming normalized, and it's now no longer something that's the exception. It is the normal. And so that's one of the things, that's one of the reasons I pulled off of my internet marketing as much, because I literally would go on and every third ad would be a roofing ad.
Yeah.
And then if it wasn't a roofing ad directly about, hey, I want your roof, it was the guys trying to tell me how to get the roof. And it's just amazing to see how soon as an idea catches on, as soon as that's the only way, it's like door knocking. I never door knocked. And this is the new door knocking. And so that's one of the reasons I pulled back. I was like, what am I doing here? Why am I running this hamster wheel? What do I need to do differently in order to be effective in my marketing? Because right now I was just keeping pace with everybody else.
Yeah. We talked in other episodes about the importance of pivoting. You know, sometimes what's been working isn't working as effectively anymore. Everyone in the internet marketing arena has experienced this at some level just during COVID-19. Some people, their business just ran right off the rails because their cost, like you're talking about, their cost per lead went up astronomically because that's where everyone was spending their time. Other internet marketers, their cost per lead dropped because all of a sudden so many more people were on the internet and are on the internet, are on social media, are absorbing content. And so their cost per lead dropped and they've seen a spike in their business. But either scenario, if you're not paying attention to what's going on in your business, then you're going to miss that opportunity. You know, you're going to keep spending money that's not beneficial for you. And then once you finally figure it out, you got to ask yourself, you start planting the seed in your own subconscious, where is the next breakthrough in my industry? Because there's one coming and there's someone already playing with it.
There's always one coming. And that's, and some of the things that I have been toying with, and I don't want to speak too directly to my business, but some of the things I personally have been toying with, I tend to run more of a Libra Virgo cusp. So I tend to be in more of a creative vein with an OCD, line on it. But it's like, so I just noticed that when I'm going back to what I used to do, man. And I realize now that is the exception. So the old school marketing is becoming the exception again.
Yeah.
That's the funny part, is that everybody went technological. Now they're all like, running in circles around each other, trying to grab a house here, trying to undercut this guy here. And the reality is, it's like what I'm doing, I'm going back to personal relationships.
Yeah.
And I still say that it doesn't matter if you're doing internet or not, that personal relationship, that rapport that you build with the customer is key. And that's something that I always have clung to. And I'm really excited about the fact that it's kind of coming full circle on me, because that's what I'm good at.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough about my business. But that's something.
No,
that's me pivoting. I pivoted, and then I it's like underneath I grabbed the rebound, man.
Yeah.
I pivoted.
That's a good insight. Sometimes, and Dan Kennedy, I think, is probably the first who I heard ever say that. He said, don't forget what got you where you're at, because a lot of times you get where you're at and you start doing all this new stuff, and the stuff that got you there, you stop doing it. And that could be making up 30% of your business. So I'm glad you were able to reconnect to your roots, homeboy.
Yeah. Hey, tell me a little bit about what's going on in your world, man. I know you're rocking and rolling out there in Cali, and you're out there. Every time I call you, you're about to make a phone call with the family, touching base.
Yeah, man. We are just growing. I mean, we recently had an executive team meeting, because we're just over a year in business now. We had an executive team meeting and just talked about the next level of growth. I mean, I was feeling challenged just because I haven't been at this level yet. And so I have to become someone new in order to take my company to the next level. So I talked to a couple of my mentors and said, hey, I'm hitting this next level and I haven't really been here before. What are the things that I need to be doing? And so, one is reorganizing my team at the top and making hard decisions about people that I started with, who I trust and who I depend on, but they're not the people who are going to take me to the next level. So
Right.
we're in the midst of reorganization. We're in the midst of turning on some new measurements. We're creating a new app, which is going to help us be more efficient, more streamlined. So I'm all up in it. You know, I'm all up in the business.
I think this is a perfect example of that. Is that you're saying you're reorganizing. You've taken a step back to analyze everything, but
Yeah.
but you haven't slowed down to do that necessarily. So
No.
your business hasn't slowed down. Maybe you have, but the business hasn't. And that's exactly what we're talking about. Is that
Well, and so I took 2 weeks off and I came back there to Fort Worth. And that's when I was able to, one day I went with my girlfriend's cousin and I helped him move rocks in his yard and do landscaping just to completely get out of what I had been doing, get some sweat going, use my muscles, get stiff, feel like the old man that I am. And he and I were able to just talk about business and life. And that was probably a breakthrough and a physiologic and emotional, spiritual, energetic breakthrough for me. But that's stepping away, putting my phone down, not answering calls, not seeing families, and thinking about my business and what I need to do to get to the next level. So that's what we're on.
I like that because that's something that that I've done recently too. Is it's not that I've been doing all my own landscape. I didn't fire my guy necessarily, but I said, hey man, I'm going to start doing my own stuff for now, unless I get covered up again, in which case I'll have you come back and do it. But I've been doing that, and there is something to that. It gets you out of that space where you're always thinking about business, and it gets you into a very basic space where you're it's just about breathing and moving and getting done what you're looking at. So your objectives are small, and it's nice to get your head to take a nice little rest and relax for a second. And then, yes, if you're with somebody, you get the opportunity to kind of talk some things through.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and tennis has been another thing for me, man. I've been out there playing tennis, and that has been the one thing I've been trying to. I wanted to lose 20 pounds before my birthday. I'm down 13, so I got 7 left to go. And then I only got, what is it today, 14th?
Yeah,
I got 13 days. I got to get on that. But anyway, man, it was nice talking to you, brother. It's nice seeing you again. And
absolutely.
We need to we'll be back again very, very soon next week. It looks like we're going to be doing once a week here, guys, until things normalize a little more for us. But hey, guys, if you like what you heard and you want to learn more, not just from us, but some of the mentors that we're in contact with, man, please smash the like button. Tell us what you're looking for. Leave something in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, we want to help you guys go from wherever you're at to 7 figures and just help you blow through whatever existing roof, literally, whatever roof you're currently at, whatever ceiling you're currently at, we want to help you bust through that. So that's what 0 to 7.
I got to give 2 shout outs, brother.
Yeah.
2 shout outs. My boys are 1 game away from the Stanley Cup. And they look good. They look good. I'm ready for it, brother. Anyway, give a shout out to my team.
All right, hey, guys.
Y'all be good, brothers. Nice talking to you.
Okay, we'll see you.
All right.
0 to 7 figures. 0 to 7 figures. 0